Okay, so we have had a lot of different shotguns in the game, and today we're going to be ranking each one from best to worst in a tier list, and we're just going to get straight into it here. So as you can see the list on screen, obviously S tier being the best, and first up we have got the Charge shotgun, and this one, I think this one was a good shotgun. I think it wasn't my favourite. Obviously you did have to charge it up to use it, it did do a lot of damage, but it definitely wasn't my favourite compared to all the other ones. I definitely prefer the concept of just pressing the button and it just shoots instead of having to hold it. So overall I will put it in the middle tier there. Not a bad one, but definitely not my favourite. Now the combat shotgun was definitely a good one. It did come into the game in chapter 1 in season 10. And this one I actually liked it quite a lot of the time. But since we have received obviously a lot of different ones, and the combat now, I definitely prefer a lot of the other ones over it. In terms of medium and long range, this one is probably one of the best ones, but at short range, combat shotgun is not very good. And a lot of the time, when you have a shotgun, you're going to be using it close range. So overall, I did used to like this one a lot, but now I'll probably just put it in the middle tier again. It's not a bad one, but I probably wouldn't use it as much compared to some of the other ones. Now the double barrel shotgun was probably the opposite. In terms of medium and long range, it wasn't good. But at short range, the double barrel is very good and probably one of the best. But overall though, this one really wasn't my favourite. I'll put it in C tier. It wasn't a terrible shotgun, but I didn't really used to use it much when it was in the game. And it wasn't really my type of shotgun. I definitely prefer one that's better at medium range. And this one, it was very good at close range, but that was pretty much it. Now the Dragon Breath shotgun, this one, it definitely was a very good shotgun. But for me, I never really used to use it at all. Like I've barely used it, and it wasn't really my favourite. I know some people might disagree with this, but I'm going to put it in the bottom tier. Again, it wasn't a bad shotgun, it probably was a good one, and that better than some of the other ones, but in terms of my personal preferences, the Dragon Breath wasn't really my favourite, but I'm going to put it in the bottom one there. Now next up we have got this shotgun here, and I'm just going to put it straight into C tier there. Again, not my favourite, not a bad shotgun, but I think there's definitely better ones in the list in my opinion. And we're going to get straight into the next one, which is the TAC. Now obviously the TAC, a very classic shotgun introduced into the game in season 1. And this one, a very OG one, it works, it does the job, and I'm going to put it into A tier there. First one in A tier. I think the TAC, obviously it's had different rarities before. We obviously had the purple TAC back in, the early days of chapter 1. We had, different rarities and everything, but in terms of just the TAC shotgun in general, it's just a very good shotgun, and if you have this in your loadout, you can't really complain too much. It's good at medium range, very good at short range as well, good fire rate. It's just a good shotgun. Now the heavy shotgun was another one introduced in chapter 1, and this one again, not a bad shotgun. I did used to use it a lot when it was first in the game, but now I wouldn't really use it as much. I'm going to put it into B tier. I think a medium range it was good, close range not bad, and long range it wasn't actually too bad. But the fire rate, not my favourite. The damage, it didn't do the best damage, especially compared to something like a pump. So overall, it wasn't terrible, but I'm going to chuck it into B tier there. Now the leather shotgun, this one, in my opinion, is one of the best ones. I really like this one. This is one of my personal favourites, and I'm going to chuck it straight into A tier here. Obviously it had different rarities, a close range is very good, but my favourite thing about this was the fire rate. The fire rate was just perfect on this, had a decent amount of shells per clip as well. And in terms of my personal favourites, the lever action, it's probably one of my favourites. I could have actually put it into S tier there. I was thinking of doing that, but it just about misses out. But definitely one of my favourite shotguns, and yeah, hopefully they bring it back soon because I really like this one. Now next up we have got this shotgun here. Gonna chuck it straight into B tier. We'll try and fly through these ones. It's a good shotgun, it gets the job done. But next up we've got the pump, and they've got different types of the pumps on this list. So you've got the sort of new one, they've got the OG one, and then they've got the legendary and purple pump, which was kind of like a different model in terms of the weapon. In terms of this pump, I'll just chuck it straight into A tier there. This one was a very good one. I think the pumps are pretty much the same. Next up again, it's just the OG pump. Obviously we had double pump at this time, but again, it just works pretty much the same. I'll probably chuck it into A tier as well. Same rarities, the damage was pretty much the same, and yeah, it was just a very, very good shotgun. Has to go in A tier there. But next up we have got the ultimate pump shotguns. This was just the purple and gold rarities. Obviously the pump looked a little bit different compared to the other ones, and this one in my opinion is probably the best one, especially if you got a gold pump. You can never really go wrong with that. You know it's going to be a good game if you got that in your loadout. Does a lot of damage, good fire rate, good at close range, medium range, and not bad at long range as well. Has to go in S tier there for me. Probably the ultimate shotgun. And then last up on the list, we have got this one, obviously in the Primal season. I'll probably put it into A tier actually. I think this one, the fire rate is very good, and at close range this one is very good if you hit your shots. And that is my tier list complete there. So for me, the pump shotgun has to be the best. But make sure to comment down below which one's your favourite. There's some very good ones in there, and probably a controversial list, but these are just some of my personal preferences. But if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for more. And there's a lot more videos on screen here. Make sure to click another one to keep on watching, and I'll see you over there.